Good morning, my student. How are you? I hope you all fine. Today we're going to listen to your text reading in Unit 3, Our Wonderful World, and you have an exam at the end of this week. إذن اليوم يا مس رح نسمع درس Our Wonderful World اللي هو The Mystery of the Nazca Lines. رح نسمعه ورح يكون في امتحان قراءة، لكن مش هذا الأسبوع قبل ما تخلصوا امتحانات إن شاء الله، بس رح نسمع الدرس ورح يكون في عندك امتحان قراءة فيه بعد ما تخلص امتحانات. Okay, miss? So let's listen to your open with me your course book page 32. افتح كتابك صفحة 32 عشان رح نسمع الدرس. Okay? يلا فوكس ركز.
Unit 3, Our Wonderful World. The Mystery of the Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are one of the greatest mysteries of our planet. They are a series of perfectly designed line drawings of shapes, animals, and plants marked on the ground in southern Peru, South America. The lines were discovered in the 1920s, when planes first began to fly over the Nazca Desert in Peru. A pilot looked down and saw the most extraordinary sight. There were huge patterns and shapes on the floor of the desert. He thought he knew the area well, but he had never seen such things before. When he landed his plane, he got into his car and raced to the spot where he had seen the lines. However, he could see nothing except the dry landscape with its heaps of stones and dust. Much intrigued, he contacted his pilot friends in Lima, the capital of Peru. They came from the city and began to fly around the desert. Every day, they found more strange lines and shapes. Then the pilots tried to determine the size of the area covered by the lines and shapes. It was about 450 square kilometers, without any towns or villages. Most of it was flat, though it was bordered on one side by mountains. The pilots next plotted the shapes. There were long lines that looked like great highways. There was a huge monkey with a spiraling tail and a creature that looked like a dog. There were also several patterns of birds. News of the discovery of the Nazca lines spread far and wide. People were fascinated. They soon realized, like the pilots, that one cannot see these patterns and shapes from the ground, as they are formed by very shallow furrows or low mounds of gravel. The people who saw them began to wonder about their meaning. Who constructed these patterns? When were they made, and why? Many archaeologists have since studied the lines. Among the most famous was Maria Reich. She was a German-born mathematician and archaeologist who was living in Peru when she heard about the lines at Nazca. Around 1946, she began to make maps of the figures on the ground. She convinced the Peruvian Air Force to help her with photographic surveys. She called on the government to control the development of the area and restrict tourist visits to it. She spent much of her own money in this effort. She became very well known in Peru, and the local people called her the Lady of the Lines.
So we listened to the text, and as I said you have an exam. رح يكون عندك امتحان يمس بس بقراءة الفقرة الأولى من عند نازكا لاين لعند ساوث أمريكا. أوكي، رح يكون عندك امتحان قراءة فيه، رح تقرأ وتبعت لي يمس. أوكي، من عند نازكا لاينز لعند ساوث أمريكا. رح أعيد لك قراءة الفقرة الأولى عشان تكون سمعتها مرتين وتتأكد منها، ترجع تبعت لي إياها. أوكي.
Unit 3, Our Wonderful World. The Mystery of the Nazca Lines. The Nazca Lines are one of the greatest mysteries of our planet. They are a series of perfectly designed line drawings of shapes, animals, and plants marked on the ground in southern Peru, South America.
اوكي، اذا بس لعند هون لعند النقطة يمس رح يكون في عندك فيها امتحان قراءة، تبعت لي اياها يا خامس يمس، بس مش هلا، لما تخلصوا امتحانات الاسبوع اللي بعده تبعتوا لي اياهم. اوكي يمس، تمام. Thank you very much for listening.